throw country for you all. This is any percent restricted survival horror. Go ahead and scare us with some scary birds.
Hi, yeah, it's me, Kasaki. Thank you, Satan. And yeah, we're gonna play Ker Country, which is an amazing little survival horror game from 2024 that harkens back to all the classics from way back when. With me, I have the amazing Big Scared and Soulmess218.
Hello, I'm Big Scared. I'm a queer variety caster here on Twitch. Play a lot of scary games. I also run this game, and I'm stoked to be on Kasaki's Run for Comms.
Almost 218. I'm also a queer variety caster and streamer and speedrunner, and I don't run this game, but I'm a big fan of the speedrun. I do run some other horror games.
All right, cool. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get into the game. Time will start when I click yes on this screen. But yeah, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Let's go.
We got this.
Let's go. I can't wait.
But yeah, so it's survival horror exactly as you expect that to be. So it's a bunch of run to point A, get the thing. That thing will let you do something at point B, and so on until eventually you reach the end of the game. This is any percent restricted, which means it's essentially the glitchless category, for lack of a better way of putting it. But we just we go around doing the things. We collect a couple quote unquote secret items, and do our best not to die. Because in true classic fashion, there is no auto saving. So if you die, the run's just kind of over. So to that end, I'll be taking some safety heals as I go because it's no fun if the run dies, 15 minutes in.
But it is fun when we're running around an amusement park.
It is fun, and we get to say hi to Mr. Bones and hope that he doesn't touch us.
Mr. Bones, please don't touch us.
Mr. Bones.
Please,
we say
please,
hi
no
to
touchies.
him. He won't feel the need to touch us.
He didn't touch us. Let's go.
Let's go.
The run is already blessed. Mr. Bones did not touch us. This run also features a bunch of optional bosses that we do literally none of. They all either have some mechanic to get past them or a puzzle to solve to get past them. Like this puzzle of drop a door.
Squish.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a puzzle.
If you actually try to fight that boss in a traditional way, they're a bullet sponge, and it's very frustrating. So when you go around the mechanics that are intended and you find these creative solutions, it's really satisfying to master this run. Here's survival horror cliche. We've got the crank.
Yep, we got the crank, the most important item in the game.
We've also got our friend Julie here. We do need to talk to her for a little bit. We will need her help later on. And so we do have to exhaust a certain amount of her dialogue. You don't need to talk to her to completion, but there's a point where you do need to continue.
Yeah, so one important distinction about this, because I'm running it on console, on the PC runs, they have a very handy macro that just mashes through all the text for you. We don't have that. So every time you see the mashing happen, that is just me holding my controller in a silly way to hit X and circle as fast as possible.
I love this puzzle because when you crank the clocks, it just gives you egg.
Egg.
Just pure survival horror logic. It just makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense when you understand where this egg is going to go.
We get to dodge Mr. Bones again.
Yay, no touchies. Let's go.
And then we have this room that has this cute little swan boat that the first time I walked in here, I accidentally called it a goose. So it's still a goose. These are geese.
Clearly.
I don't know what you're talking about. These have always been geese. They've never not been geese.
Agreed. Always
Yeah,
geese.
it looks like a goose to me. On another note, I have an optometrist appointment on Friday. That's not true. But you gotta do
It could be.
It could be. No, my eyes are good enough. I don't go to the optometrist. I am sorry to all those who wear glasses
lucky.
that I'm making sad.
Wow.
No.
And we're using the crank again, the most important item in the game.
It's true. It's true.
I also know my eyes work because, like, this game looks so cool, by the way.
It does, doesn't it?
Kasaki's doing a great job. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a very cool, nifty retro aesthetic. It very much nails what it's going for.
Yeah, we needed to burn this gelatin away from this mask for reasons.
Yes. This is the sad mask. And quite literally, back when I used splits, because I just kind of don't anymore, the split was just called sad mask.
Yeah, this is unfortunately not in all masks around a Majora's Mask. We only get the sad mask in this one.
Okay. But it is all masks, because there's only one.
True! Oh, and welcome to Halloween Town.
Yeah.
This
fun
is
fact,
Halloween.
you do have to shoot down all of the chandeliers because they are precarious, and if you don't disarm those traps, they will take you out, and they can one-shot you if they nail you directly from above. So it's way safer to take the time to just shoot them down.
Yeah, well, and another kind of a fun thing about this game is, like, most of this game is set in stone. Unless I'm misremembering, the only RNG in this game is what model of enemy spawns in any given room and the amount of damage hits do.
Yeah.
It's not consistent. Oh,
Mr. Bones, we said no touchy. Okay, so the crow is just going to watch us crank this door. We're going to be cranking it for a while. Satan, I'm a big fan. You got anything you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, and I'm a big fan of not only this run and Kasaki, and also Big Scared and Soulmass, and this is an incredible crew, but I'm also a big fan of Midwest Speedfest, and I know all of y'all are too, and that's why we're here today. Midwest Speedfest is benefiting, well, Midwest Speedfest. We're raising funds to help the Midwest Speedfest team purchase better equipment to improve our on-site events. Since we began hosting marathons nearly 10 years ago, all of our equipment has been gifted or lent to us or purchased out of pocket by staff. This is no longer sustainable, but we need to upgrade our equipment to continue hosting high-quality marathons. And also, the main items we hope to be able to purchase with funds raised from this event are 4 new headsets for our runners and commentators. One headset, including necessary XLR cables, works out to about $250, meaning the whole set will cost about $1,000. This will greatly increase our audio quality and improve our runners and commentators' experiences. So now you all know exactly where that $1,000 is going to that we're trying to raise tonight. We are only $20 away from getting all 4 of those incredible headsets. Let's do it, chat.
Let's do it, I believe. Also, this is the best part of the run. And by best, I mean worst.
No, it's great. I unironically love this. You get to play 4 minigames because the scores are the code.
Yes, but this is also one of the most brutal RNG segments of the game because these mini games each have their own layers of RNG. The worst one is this final one that we're going to be doing after the mermaid quiz. The skull shooter it's brutal. It can be absolutely brutal. The goal is to shoot the fish, but not the skulls. And as you're going to see very quickly, fate is going to determine how we do here.
Kasaki, I can't believe
Yeah,
you went 1 out of 3 in the
One
mermaid
skull.
quiz.
2 skulls.
look, you don't understand. I know the answer to like 4 of the 8 questions.
4 skulls. This is 5 skulls.
But this is
Oh!
amazing RNG.
6 skulls. No.
Okay,
And it's all tiny
chat,
fishes too.
it's been all tiny fishes. So chat, what you don't know is I did a practice run like an hour and a half ago and got the best RNG I've literally ever seen in that minigame. And
Yeah,
that's
no
maybe the
fault.
worst I've ever seen.
Marathon luck. Let's go.
Marathons.
Go. It's just more time to raise those funds for Midwest Speedfest.
That's true. We're only what? Satan, we're $10 away now.
That's right. That's right. I can also say let's go to going $10 mode because we've got $10 from Cece who says, caw! Caw! I mean, yay horror block! Could not agree more with that. And that gets us exactly one $10 mode away from $1,000. Come on, can we announce that during Crow Country? I would love to do that. I also want to make chat aware that our bid war ending for Sorry We're Closed actually ends about 20 minutes into the run. It's not going to end at the very end. So if you want to influence that bid war, which right now Chamuel is winning by $5, you gotta go ahead and get those donations in right quick.
So, Kasaki, why are there weapons all around this children's theme park?
So, that's a wonderful question. We don't know. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm going to be so real. Maybe the game does explain it. If it does, I don't remember. I played this game casually one time and then started running it.
There will be a point where it will all be explained to us, but we will be so busy mashing through it while Mr. Crow is yapping later on that I'll give you the TLDR when the time comes.
Yeah, Mr. Crow literally mansplains the entire plot to you at the very end of the game.
It's incredible. But in the meantime, we have our piano puzzle, another survival horror cliche, while this man looks disapprovingly at us.
Yeah. And that's about all he does. That's about as useful as he is for the whole game.
We will see him again, though, very briefly, for some yapping. Here's another boss fight that we're simply going to skip.
But we don't want to skip this huge announcement. We have made $1,000 on the Midwest Speedfest tune-up on our very first day. Thank you all so much for that. And the Flying Marlin sends in $10 and says, Bergie. And that gets us there. Thank you so much for that donation. Let's keep them coming. And I also want to make chat aware that actually Clarissa has surpassed Chamuel for the ending bid war by $5 now. So that bid war's spicy. I want to remind everybody that Chamuel is going to be the ending that's going to see love bloom, and Clarissa's ending is cutting toxic love short. So both in favor of living your best lives, just doing it a little different.
Gaming.
Thank you all so much for 1K. Huge gaming.
Gaming. Thank you all so much for the donations. 1K. Let's keep it going.
Oh.
Keep going, and we have a boss fight to donate for Bow Path of the Tia Lotus, the Kitsura boss fight as well, happening tomorrow. So there's a lot to donate for. Make sure to click those incentives when you donate.
Now, Kasaki is flying through this run. If you're not super familiar with it, you might not appreciate what they just did. The flamethrower is a unique special item. It's a secret, quote unquote, in the game. And they used it to melt the wax around the fairy's skull, which had a key inside of it. Normally, this would be a wildly complicated puzzle where they'd have to go on 3 or 4 different fetch quests to get some acid, and then they would have to put it in some water filtration system. This is the tech of Crow Country in a nutshell. When you know what to do and how to bypass the puzzles, they become easy. Much like this one with the floor panels here. When you know what sequence to put in there, it becomes really easy to know how to get out of here and just not fight the boss in this room. Look at that. We're out of there. We're schmoozing.
Yeah, we didn't even see him.
You do not want to fight that boss.
The enemy just popped out of existence. I loved it.
Also, in this next room, we'll say hi to an enemy that also just kind of appears like after we're already in there. It's just how the game loads this enemy. He loads late, and is an icon for it.
Boop.
Hey,
There he is.
gamer. I love how ridiculously fast you move with these little speed shoes on.
It's the speed.
Yeah, the shoes
booster.
are great. The only issue with the shoes is they're a little bit slippy. And if you're not used to them compared to the normal speed, you can get yourself in really bad situations sometimes.
Look, when I'm running around at 2 times speed, I'm floating a little bit too, all right?
You're not wrong.
Now, chat, if you saw a wooden crate that was rattling in the last room, don't be alarmed. I warned you that we needed a special friend, that we needed to exhaust some of their dialogue so that way they would help us. We're just going to help them out real quick to make sure they're going to help us. Everyone say hi to Julie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in a box full of
Hi,
rocks.
Julie. This is an unboxing stream now.
We found Julie.
What do
This
you
is a
mean?
rare
She
drop.
I
dropped.
don't think I've ever pulled Julie out of my unboxings before. Like, something to expect.
A legendary Julie appears.
It's all right. She's a shiny Julie, and I'm going to tell you how I know. In this next room, you will understand because she's wearing a little captain hat.
See the captain hat?
That's how you know she's shiny.
That's a rare pull.
It is
Thank you, Captain
the
Julie.
best RNG.
Now, this is a puzzle that I think everyone who runs this game would agree would be a million times worse if it had RNG. This is a fixed solution puzzle. We know which mermaid to pull out of the water and which one to open up to get the battery we need to operate an elevator. Don't ask why the battery is in the submerged mermaid and why it still works. These are just survival horror things. We don't question it too much. We simply take the battery and we leave.
Yeah, out of context, everything Big just said is extremely unhinged, but this is survival horror.
Yeah, these are just normal things.
Oh no.
And now, since we're in a later part of the game, we are going to experience a high saturation of enemies. Increasingly strange little guys. They're quite funky. And Mr. Bones is going to be all over the place. But if we're lucky, we're going to get Mr. Bones to aggro on us in a specific pattern that's going to result in my favorite animation in the entire game.
Me too. I hope we get to see it.
Oh,
It's
I'm
great.
keeping my bones crossed.
All right, come on, Mr. Bones. We want to see it.
It's all right. We got to
Oh, don't worry.
charge up our anticipation first. While we wait for this battery, Satan, is there anything?
Oh, of course there are things. You kidding me? First, one of the things I'd like to point out, and I know I already did this before, but I want to stress that we really want to see that Kitsura boss fight in Bow Path of the Teal Lotus tomorrow. If you haven't seen Bow Path of the Teal Lotus, by the way, it is gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And this boss fight is really hard. We are only about $50 away from reaching that boss fight unlock. And I think it would be absolutely amazing if the runner could wake up to it completed or almost completed tomorrow. So definitely go ahead and put your donations towards that. Or the ending bidder war for Sorry We're Closed, which closes only 20 minutes into that run, which is the very next run. So definitely got to get those donations in. I also want to remind chat that we are going further beyond those headsets that I mentioned earlier. There's a lot of other things that Midwest Speedfest needs to operate, including 2 high-quality webcams they're looking for, priced at about $160 each. So chat, we're moving towards webcams, we're moving towards headsets, desktop microphones, amazing things that hosts like me and runners like Kasaki need to be given these amazing performances to raise money for good causes.
Well said. Much like Mr. Crow, we are on the move, and Kasaki is entering one of the most dangerous rooms in the entire game.
Like, all of these enemies want to give you a hug so bad.
And they are very strong. Some of them can one-shot you if you already have some damage on you, and they navigated that flawlessly. Fun fact, if you have no bullets in your pistol, all of these gates are always down. Otherwise, you would have to shoot a bunch of different lanterns to navigate your way through that mini maze of that room. Everyone say hi to Julie. There she is.
Hey, Julie.
Oh.
She's going to do the very important task of keeping this man busy so they can yap at each other so we can go fight the final boss.
Yeah, no, I have an interesting problem that I think other speedrunners can probably attest to. That most of the puzzles in this game, outside of ones that have like, very quick and easy fixed outcomes, I don't remember how to do them anymore. So if I were to try and do this casually, it would go very poorly.
What a thrill.
What a thrill.
What a thrill.
All right, so if you're playing this casually, this is the point where we get the big reveal of the game. Ooh. Why are we here? What are we doing? The entire time we're here, we are under the pretenses that we're some sort of detective named Mara. That's not necessarily true. We're actually a 16-year-old girl named Elaine out for vengeance. Why? Because she's got a horrible condition. What is that condition? It's unclear, but she caught it from this goo behind Mr. Crow here. Everyone say hi to Mr. Crow.
Hi, Mr.
He's going
Crow.
to yap at great length about the fact that they found some weird stuff in the ground and they've been mining it for a while, and it caused a rift in space-time. And all those monsters you're seeing, those are actually people.
Wait, Big, can we just fight the final boss?
Yeah, we just got to get through these blocks of text first. It's fine.
Are we there yet?
No, he's got to tell
No.
us about all of the things that he's done, all of the science he's done, all of the capitalism he's engaged in, and then he's gonna just dive face first into that soup. I hope you're ready.
I mean, that's the best part.
Sounds like a good Saturday evening.
Whee!
Honestly.
All right, final boss. There's a specific thing Kasaki's gonna do. We have collected 4 grenades throughout the run, and we need to use them really rapidly while Mr. Crow is spawning. Otherwise, he's gonna have funky patterns, and it's gonna be hard to deal with him.
Didn't quite get the quick kill, but that's okay. There we go.
Got him.
Okay, so time is coming up very soon. It's not when the screen goes dark, but it's going to come up, and I'm going to hit use, and that'll be time. So it'll be in just a moment. And time.
GG.
Yo, GG's.
Oh, thank you. That was actually really good, honestly. That was only like 5 seconds above my PV, so that was good. That was a good run.
Whoa.
Yeah, amazing run. Great job, Kasaki.
Very well executed.
Thank you. And then we just sit here and drink this weird goop by a car.
It's all right. Maybe everything will
And
be
maybe
okay.
everything will be okay. But yeah, that's been Crow Country. It's a wonderful game. You should play it. It goes on sale. The devs are super cool and very active and communicative with the speedrun community. So, Adam and Tom, they're great. Play Crow Country, please.
And where can the viewers find you, Kasaki, if they'd like to see more?
Oh yeah, I stream roughly 3 times a week at _Kasaki on Twitch. You can also find me at the Kasaki on bluesky and only bluesky. It's the only socializer I use anymore. And also, just my own little personal shout out. Shout outs to the Binary Breakers community that Big Scared here founded and gave us non-binary folks our own place to be. It's fabulous and it's really cool. And if you are fitting in that description of being, beyond, between, or outside of the binary, hit us up. We would love to have you.
Yeah, I think this is another one of those instances where we've had 4